Guiding Light, presented by pure, digestible Crisco oil, a vegetable oil without a heavy, oily taste.
Well, I think it's because my mother used it, and, I sort of went along and used what she used.
Mrs. Elliott is telling about the salad oil she uses. Now she's tasting salad made with a different oil. Listen.
No, it's very light.
Because it's made with Crisco oil, a lighter vegetable oil without that heavy, oily taste. Here's your oil. Here's Crisco oil. How does Crisco oil taste?
Well, it doesn't have a greasy, heavy taste.
And your oil?
It's much heavier and oilier.
You say you use it because your mother did. And you never tried Crisco oil?
Well, I should have, but I'm sure now I would switch to it since it is so light. Now I realize that, this is better.
You try the oil that's better, lighter, high in polyunsaturates, too. Crisco oil, an oil without that heavy, oily taste.
What would I do without such a nice wife to rescue me? Thanks for coming.
What on earth happened?
Oh, the car just gave up in the middle of the street.
It was lucky this garage was near.
Yeah, it was. Darling, we don't have to leave too soon, do we? I'm waiting for an estimate on these repairs.
No, I guess we can wait a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, come on, sit down. Oh, did you have the woman across the hall babysit?
No. One of your clients is staying with him.
What do you mean? Who?
Mrs. Scott. She happened to drop by for a visit, so she offered to meet the crisis by staying with Amy.
Oh, it was very, very nice. Well, looks like I'll have to give her that job now, won't I?
She said that she'd come to see you about some part-time work.
Yeah.
You think you'll be able to use her?
Well, I think so. If she really wants to. You see, she's a very capable person. She's obviously had secretarial experience before.
If she really wants to.
Yeah.
Oh, she told me she does.
Well, I think that Ben Scott is the hitch there. He thinks that a woman's place is in the home, and she wants to straighten that one out with him first.
I wouldn't think Mr. Scott would have such an old-fashioned point of view. It doesn't seem to fit with his personality.
I don't know. Forcing her to marry him had an old-fashioned ring to it. I mean, modern men don't twist their wives' arms to get them down to the altar. I didn't twist your arm, did I?
No, you certainly didn't. Then I was a very willing bride.
Well, Mrs. Scott is a very unwilling housewife.
Well, I know how she feels. If I didn't have Amy to take care of, I think I'd like to do some part-time nursing.
Now, wait a minute. I don't like the sound of that. Does that make me old-fashioned?
Well, fortunately, the question is academic, because you do have Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, George, can't you hurry up this garage?
Yeah, I think they're going as fast as they can.
Can't they phone you the estimate? Mrs. Scott has some shopping to do. I don't think we should keep her babysitting too long.
You know about Bill and me?
Yes, I know. I'm sick and tired of pretending I don't know. I've known about you and Bill for a long, long time.
Stewardess, I couldn't.
All day on a plane, and she still looks terrific. I've got to know how she does it. Now what's she doing?
Using Ivory soap.
Hi, girl.
I'm Wendy Jordan. Weren't you on my flight?
We just wanted a clue.
To that great complexion.
Well, wearing makeup all day is hard on skin, so I rest from makeup every chance I get. With Ivory? Ivory helps skin that wears makeup stay young.
Any soap removes makeup.
But other soaps have ingredients that can stay on your face. Like deodorants, heavy perfumes. Ivory's pure, mild. Lets your skin rest from everything and stay young. Besides, more doctors recommend Ivory. Great, only... Where can we get Ivory here in Casablanca? Compliments of Wendy Jordan.
Pure, mild Ivory helps skin that wears makeup stay young.
You're surprised that I know. Why? Because I sat back and endured your affair in silence? Because I never came to you and pleaded for you to leave my husband alone?
Well, if you knew, why didn't you say something?
Because I was a coward, I guess. Because I didn't want to make things worse, as if they could have been worse.
How did you find out?
Oh. One day, a long time ago, I went to the office to have lunch with my husband. And Carol told me he was at a restaurant down the street, so I went there, too. And there were the two of you together. And I saw the look in your face. A woman knows that look. You thought you had him then. I thought you did, too.
Look, if Bill and I hurt you, I'm sorry, but...
If you hurt me. If you hurt me. You mean there's some doubt about that?
I'm sorry.
Please don't try to tell me that. You may be sorry about a great many things, but what you did to me in my home isn't one of them. If you're sorry about anything, it's that you didn't get Bill, that's all.
Look, that is all in the past. Now, can't we...
In your past, maybe. But it's still very much in my present. I'm living every day with what you did to my home. Every day I have to face this. The poison of that affair that you had with my husband is still in Bill's mind. He's drinking again, after years of not touching a drop. And you brought him to this. You drove him to this.
Now, don't you think you're being just a little unfair?
No, I don't. You dragged him into this affair, and everything has come from that. Now, I often wondered what kind of a woman it is who would wreck a home and steal a man because she couldn't get a man in the decent way.
Look, I didn't deliberately fall in love with Bill, and he didn't deliberately fall in love with me.
You didn't exactly try to avoid it, did you? You found Bill at a time when he was a little unhappy at home, and you took advantage of it. Didn't you? You deliberately let yourself fall in love with him. A woman your age doesn't have to do that. You're not exactly a moonstruck young girl, you know.
Look, I don't pretend to be.
You saw
what
what
you
you wanted,
token, you
deliberately set out to get it, and you didn't care how many people might get hurt.
Now, look, that is not true. If I was that kind of a woman, I would have gotten what I wanted, and not what I have. Because I have nothing. Look, what do you expect of me? Bill and I ended this. It's over. Now, that is...
Bill ended
There
it.
is no...
Not you. You can't take any credit for this at all. None. You wanted my husband to marry you, didn't you? You pleaded with him to leave me, didn't you? Well, didn't you?
Yes, Mrs. Bauer. I did.